a fight between two girls going in the wrong, or in opposite directions, I should say. Mayra Bueno Silva just challenged for the UFC title in January of 2024, but she's in must-win territory at this point. The Brazilian has lost 3 fights in a row, and even her win over Holly Holm was changed to a no contest, so she hasn't won a fight since February of 2023 on paper, and she gassed hard. She choked in her title fight, came back, and she looked solid in round 1 versus Macy Chasen, but got taken down, got cut in the second round, and ended up being stopped. And then her last fight with Jasmine Zudavicius, she just got dominated, and she had a fight scheduled against Jocelyn Edwards as well a couple months ago at 125, and she pulled out, moved back up to 135. So her momentum and career trajectory are on a downward spiral right now, and she's facing a fighter who's not as established as the girls she's been fighting recently. But they're setting up Silva to become a gatekeeper. If she wants another title run, she has to go out there and look impressive against Jackie Calvacanti. But after 4 straight wins, Calvacanti, she's getting the opportunity to get into the title picture with the win here, taking on a longtime veteran, someone that almost touched gold. And Calvacanti, she's been pretty dominant in her UFC career this far. Although 2 of her wins are splits, you can argue she's won every round she's fought in the UFC. And none of Calvacanti's wins have been against the greatest fighters, but she's handling them pretty easily, even though a couple judges had bad scorecards in her fights. But you look at Mayra, I mean, really nasty striker, especially in round 1. She's a plotter. She doesn't really feint, so sometimes she could struggle to find her range. But when she lets go with her kicks or a combination, she's pretty nasty. She's good on the inside with her knees or elbows. And standing and banging with Silva is not smart. Myra's not that evasive. She doesn't really have good footwork, so she can get hit. And if you could stick and move, you can land on her and get in, get out of range. But she is always dangerous, and you can take down Silva. She's basically just gives up takedowns willingly because she believes in her jiu-jitsu. And some fights she's been able to catch girls off her back, and some fights she hasn't. And her conditioning has been a constant issue for her also. She always slows down in fights, and she's been training at a Checkmat Jiu-Jitsu gym in California for this fight, though, and she got her black belt, so hopefully she's in shape and been grappling hard, so, she doesn't gas out. Her last fight, when Zudavicius took her down, it seemed like she kind of mentally broke. She was arguing with the ref. She was kind of talking back to her corner, and her stand-up in her last 2 fights to me has looked pretty solid, but seems like whenever she's faced that first, bit of adversity, she's kind of checked out in the fight. So mentally, you have to question her a little bit, but you look at her opponent, Jacqueline Calvacanti, she's sharp and technical. She's more boxing-oriented, and she's good at using her speed. She'll land nice jabs, straight right hands, very clean. She likes to dance around you, and she hasn't been touched too much in any of her UFC fights. And kicks-wise, she will sometimes throw leg kicks or front kicks, but she's more of a puncher, and she stays very composed. She hasn't really fought a striker that she can't dance around and outnumber yet pretty easily. She does kind of tend to circle to the same side, and fighting Shitara, she has to be a little bit more evasive because Mayra will go 2-3 or try to throw big hooks and catch her. And Calvacanti, I also think, has power herself, though, so she has to be willing to sit down, throw hard, get her respect here. And she has good conditioning. She fights very composed. She hasn't really had her grappling tested all that much. She did get taken down against Nora Cornell, but nothing really happened. She got her back taken from standing. And with Mayra Bueno Silva, though, I think that could be, a different issue if she gives up positions like that. But Cavalcanti, I think, has to be ready to defend takedowns like she was in the Cornell fight for this one, and get back up to her feet when she's taken down, because I don't think she really wants to try to compete with Mayra on the mat. And Cavalcanti, she does have good fight IQ. Another thing I like about her is she listens to her corner well, so I expect her to have a good game plan. And on the feet, I think this will be super interesting. I think it's going to be power versus sharpness. I expect Shitara to be very aggressive, pressure Cavalcanti, look to get past her range and her long shots. And on the inside, I favor Mayra with her elbows, with her knees, with her short range power. And I think she needs to look for that body hook and then come over the top with a big right hand. More importantly, I think she should go for takedowns and try to find the submission. For Cavalcanti, she has to maintain the center, try to throw some heavy 1-2s, left hooks. I think she has to try to establish that she can compete with Shitara on the feet early. And eventually, once Shitara gets tired, back her up, use your speed, use your distance control. The longer the fight goes, the better it gets for Cavalcanti. So I think that she's going to be wanting to be smart early and then pick it up as it goes on. But I think Silva's live, but if she wins, I kind of feel it has to be early. If she was better from the top position, maybe I would favor her, but more than likely, unless she can do big damage and press her Cavalcanti early, I think she's going to lose her sharpness and lose the fight. Cavalcanti is just going to be the better minute winner and have the better conditioning. And I think it might play out a little closer than the line indicates, but I think that Jacqueline Calvacanti will win via decision.